everyone, it's Katie again. Sorry I didn't post anything last week for my, 2 subscribers. I didn't post last week because I was in bed sick all week, so I didn't really think you wanted to see that. But I did do research throughout the week, and I focused mainly on, the history that is at the bottom of the ocean, because one thing that was said in one of the articles that I read a hot minute ago was that the ocean is the biggest museum, historical artifact museum, because there's so much at the bottom that, tells us so much about our ancestors and, how we have gotten so advanced. So I read a few articles and watched a few TED Talks, so I'm just gonna kind of discuss about what I learned. There was one thing specifically that I don't know why I never thought about this, or I don't know why I always thought this was fake, but there are literally sunken cities. I don't know if that's me just being super dumb, but I always thought that was fictional, fantasy. I didn't know that there were actually sunken cities. I was like, holy crap, then that got me thinking, imagine, living in that city, and just, slowly but surely, just, that's scary. But that's not the point. The point is that there are literally sunken cities in the ocean. Does that not blow anybody else's mind? That blows my mind, but then again, it might just be dumb, I don't know. But there are also, they showed in this one TED Talk, they showed some pictures that I will put in, that there were actually camps lining the bottom of the ocean, which showed that how much the sea level has risen in the past years, decades, centuries, I don't know. But it shows how we traveled back then. You could see literally camps set up on the bottom of the ocean. That also blows my mind, because I'm like, how does that work? Wouldn't the current blow everything away as it was sinking? I don't know, again, might just me being dumb. And then another thing that I found, again, I'm going to link everything down below to give credit where it's due. But there's this one quote that really struck me. It says, "The ocean is full of life, and all of it matters all of the time. We know that the natural world is all tied together, and we are part of it. The more we discover about life on Earth, the more we'll realize our lives depend on it." And that, honestly, I was just like, that just describes everything that I've been talking about, in this past videos. I feel like we haven't explored to the full potential that we have. We haven't explored the ocean to the full potential that it needs to be, because there's a lack of budget, and there's a lack of technology, and because of the lack of budget, we can't build the technology for it. And so it's just kind of this cycle, we need to do this, but we don't have the money to do it because the money's going to other places. But I just feel like we really need to discover more about the ocean. There have been people who've gone to the deepest part of the ocean, but that's just one part. When they got down there, they found new species, they found new life that they never knew existed. So if you think about that, they went down to this one place, and they had to wait for the sand to settle so that they can actually see things. And because it's so dark down there, they could only see, so far. And they still found life, new life. So that means if they found life down there, there's sufficient oxygen and food down there for life. And that's one thing that in the past, they didn't think life was down at the bottom of the ocean because there's not light or oxygen or whatever. But going down there and finding this life, they realize that there are a lot of species down there that we don't know yet. You know, I know this is just like a theory, and I know like I'm probably dumb for this, but I truly believe that the Megalodon shark still exists because we can't see the entire bottom of the ocean at one time because it's so dark. So I think we need to create a technology so that we can see the entire ocean, or at least see, like, you know, with like the heat stuff, so you can like see bodies down there. But like seriously, like there is so much life at the bottom of the ocean. I know I started out this video talking about history, but now I'm like getting heated about like the fact that there's so much life down there that we don't know because we don't have the technology to see it. Anyways, history. Yeah, so there is a website that I found that gives a timeline of like discoveries that we've made through the ocean, and I found it really interesting. So in 1512, this man, his name is Ferdinand Magellan, he attempted to measure the depth of the Pacific Ocean by using a weighted line. And the weighted line was 2,400 feet long, but it didn't even touch the bottom of the ocean. That's how deep it is. Like, whoa. I also read somewhere that the depth of the ocean is taller than Mount Everest. Wild. Yeah, so I will post the link to this website. I think it's really interesting, and I think you guys would find it really interesting too, looking at the timeline. But yeah, that's really all I got to say today about the history. Stay tuned, I suppose.